Warning: the Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
As your senator from New York, I supported a greater emphasis on community policing, along with putting more officers on the street to get to know those communities. David Dinkins was an early pioneer of this policy. His leadership helped lay the foundation for dramatic drops in crime in the years that followed.
I don't know whether to talk about the liar who wants to be president who wears a skirt. David Dinkins brought about a drop in crime. Is there a New Yorker listening to this show who wants to see the Dinkins days returning with squeegee men dirtying your windshield and crimes of every nature on the streets? Are you kidding me? How does she get away with it? Answer, because no one stops her. But yesterday I walked the line, and there's a great song, I Walked the Line, by a American folk singer. Who did it? I Walked the Line. Yeah, play Johnny Cash, I Walked the Line. Because yesterday I walked the line. I was on a 1,000-foot tightrope, 1,000 feet in the air, discussing gay marriage. I did the best show of my life, in my estimation. But it took a lot out of me because no matter what you say on the issue of gay marriage, you're going to be attacked. You'll be attacked by both sides. I walked the line already. Thank you. Now we can end it. The timing is everything in radio. The refrain I could have done without. The walk the line I could have used. But all right, that's better than nothing. There's a lot of stories that are rattling around inside my brain. Gay marriage is one. We have new sound again on it. I may as well begin with the new sound on that because I then want to talk about Soros's coming tax bill, and Apple may have to pay Ireland 10 years of back taxes. Oh, yeah. You didn't know that, huh? Mr. George Soros, who put Barry Obama in office, has been deferring taxes for many years by using every scheme known to mankind while telling you to pay your fair share. Does it sound familiar to you? Warren Buffett, another one, another great American. He gets all sorts of deals from Obama, including shooting down the Keystone XL pipeline because his trains run the oil from the Alberta tar sands to our refinery. So what does he want? A pipe that could do it for 100 times cheaper. And then he tells you to pay more taxes. And then, of course, there's Apple, another wonderful company that everyone loves so much. Headline, Apple may have to pay Ireland 10 years of back taxes. Want to hear what they've been paying in taxes? Get ready for this, all you good liberals. Apple has paid as little as 2% on profits attributed to its subsidiaries in Ireland, well below the 35% top rate in the United States, and even well below Ireland's 12.5% rate. Don't you love that? Wait, it gets even better. It gets even better. Disney is firing IT workers like the plague and hiring people from India at 1/2 the price. Disney now. And the Department of Homeland Security says nothing. Why do you think all of these rats were screaming for immigration, including that one in the undershirt? The brat with the undershirt who got lucky from Harvard, whatever his name is. Faiselberg. Mark Faiselberg. Remember Mark Faiselberg was a big mouth for illegal immigration, making them all legal? Do you think he goes to dinner with illegal immigrants? Do you think he washes the feet of illegal aliens from Tijuana like Nancy Pelosi does? He wanted B-1B visas to lower his costs. He wanted immigrants simply to shaft American workers, Mark Faiselberg. You think because these guys are worth $100 billion that they're happy? They'd cut your heart out for another dollar in profit. Here. So you see riots the other day in Baltimore. The morons, what are they rioting? They don't even know who Freddie Gray is. Rioting. And what'd they steal? Toilet paper. Did you see how many pictures of the lowlifes? You're not allowed to call them thugs. I'll call them subhumans. If you don't like the word thug, maybe that'll apply better. Because once you go below the level of humanity and you're not civil, you're a subhuman. They break into a store. The city's burning. What does he rob? A jar of mouthwash and toilet paper. My dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm not making this up, Teddy. Human beings are insane. They burn a city to the ground to rob toilet paper out of CVS with a jug of mouthwash. And the store is burned to the ground. Then they'll complain that Whitey didn't rebuild the city fast enough for them. A minority city, they'll say that the whites caused them to burn the city to the ground, and they want more money to rebuild it so they can burn it to the ground again. It's a crazy world out there. Now couple the guy robbing toilet paper after the Baltimore riots. Toilet paper, I swear to you. It was 8 rolls of paper. You could see it was worth burning a building to the ground for that. It wasn't just one roll of toilet paper that the wonderful citizen of Baltimore stole out CVS's had burnt. It was 8 to 12. It was a 12-pack, along with mouthwash. On one side, you have the idiot robbing toilet paper after burning a city down. Doesn't work for a living. Lives on welfare. Probably deals drugs on the side. And here's another story. Sales of $100 million homes rise to record worldwide. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I've never seen anything like the disparity. So you say, what's the answer? To take the rich and eat the rich and give the money to the guy who robs toilet paper? No, the answer is to make the guy who robs toilet paper clean the gutter. That's the answer. Put them to work in public service jobs, cleaning their city, rebuilding their city. That's what you do. So let's go back to gay weddings. That's all anyone wants to talk about. That's what you want to talk about, nothing else. It's a good topic. I did it yesterday. I'll do it again today. We'll revisit it. 855-407-282. Let us begin with the actual voices involved with Antonin Scalia. The man robbing toilet paper would not have known who he is. He would have think he was some Italian who ran Baltimore in the 50s. But no, Antonin Scalia is on the U.S. Supreme Court, and he's arguing with a woman named Bonato. It's Italian versus Italian. Antonin Scalia is the conservative. Ms. Bonato is the gay arguer, the arguer for the gay marriages. So Scalia asked Bonato the following. Let's hear clip 1.
Do you agree that ministers will not have to conduct same-sex marriages?
If they do not want to, that is correct. I believe that is firm under the First Amendment.
She believes. Notice she's a snake like all lawyers. I believe it's part of the First Amendment. Well, listen, Miss Bonato, if it's part of the First Amendment, then why are your cohorts harassing pizza shop owners and bakeries to make cakes for gays when they don't want to? Isn't that part of their First Amendment? Ms. Bonato, you're clean and nice in front of the Supreme Court now. You're wearing a nice press skirt, and you're a Miss Curtsy and Miss this. Yeah, First Amendment. You know you don't believe in the First Amendment. You believe in the Gay Amendment, which is do it our way or go to the highway. Don't tell us you believe in the First Amendment. Then Scalia goes on about clergy in clip 2. Listen to this.
But ministers who do not believe in same-sex marriage will still be authorized to conduct marriages on behalf of the state. You can't do that once it is a constitutional prescription.
No answer to that. Right, of course. Once it's a constitutional prescription, then the ministers can't perform any marriage unless they perform gay marriages as well as straight marriages. I guess you can't say straight marriage anymore. That's sort of a slur. You have to use same-sex. I never heard of it. It's like both my parents deceased a long time ago. If I said to them, you know that you were an opposite-sex couple, they would have looked at me like I was crazy. Who ever heard of a redefinition of this in your lifetime? Your mother and father were an opposite-sex couple. You hear this? They had to redefine themselves for less than 1% of the population. Oh, yeah. Your grandmother, your grandfather, going back a million years, they were opposite-sex couples. Let's say 5,000 years. So then Varelli, whoever he is, I guess he's another one arguing for the other side. I have to be fair to the subject. Let's hear clip 3 now.
The opportunity to marry is integral to human dignity. Excluding gay and lesbian couples from marriage demeans the dignity of these couples, it demeans their children, and it denies both the couples and their children the stabilizing structure that marriage affords.
All of a sudden, marriage. I knew gay people. None of them ever wanted to be married. It's the furthest thing from their mind. The last thing the gay people I knew wanted was marriage. They entered that lifestyle to get away from the conventional life that their parents had because they couldn't stand it. It was stifling them. Now, I know things were different then. I get it. It's different now. I get it. I understand that. It's a different time. Now suddenly marriage is the most important thing in the world to the gay community. Are you kidding me? Do you really think this is about marriage? We discussed it yesterday. If it's about property rights, visitation rights, that could be done very simply without redefining marriage for the entire universe. Domestic partnerships or by legal decree, period, end of story. It has nothing to do with marriage. It has to do with changing society at its core. The building block of any society is man and woman. I don't care if you're a Syrian. I don't care if you're a Libyan. I don't care if you're a lesbian. I don't care if you're a Staten Islander. The building block of any society is man and woman. Everybody knows that. Gays know that. They came from man and woman. So why do they have to change the structure of the world to reflect their own view of the world? Because they can. Because they control the media. That's why. Now we go on. I'm going to roll here. How many people hate me now? I don't know. I'm not trying to be hated. I am trying to have a discussion here. Let's have one more, which is from Mr. Roberts, who was the man who gave us Obamacare, strangely. Nobody knows why he did that. He was the one who suddenly said it's a tax. It's not a tax. Therefore, it's Obamacare. Yes, you can have Castro care in America. So here's Justice Roberts now in clip 4.
Every definition that I looked up prior to about a dozen years ago defined marriage as unity between a man and a woman as husband and wife. Obviously, if you succeed, that core definition will no longer be operable.
Well, that's obvious.
I hope not, Your Honor.
Huh? Who's that? What'd she just mutter? Where'd that come from? That's like a tail end that wasn't on there. So then Alito asks, what will be the limits on same-sex marriages? Okay, clip 5. It's a good one. Listen to this one.
Suppose we rule in your favor in this case, and then after that, a group consisting of 2 men and 2 women apply for a marriage license. Would there be any ground for denying them the license?
That's all. Polygamy is coming. Polygamy next. Marry a horse next. Want to marry a dog? Sure. Why not? Marry a dog. It's a nice, furry creature. Doesn't bother anybody. Isn't your dog entitled to marriage, too? Tell me why, if you change the name, the definition of the word marriage, you cannot marry an animal. Tell me why. Explain that to me. How? How will it be limited? Isn't that a constitutional right to marry your cat or your dog? Now, I'm not comparing gays to cats and dogs. Please don't lump the two together and make something out of what I'm not saying. Don't try to do it. It's too late in my career. It's not going to work. You and George Soros and the rats who evade taxes and attack conservatives, you know what? You lost. You didn't win. So the fact of the matter is, keep trying, but you're not going to get me. I'm too smart for you, number one, and I'm not what you say I am, number two. And the best defense, by the way, for an attack is the truth. So don't try to lump me in with the bigots, because I'm the last thing on earth. The last thing on earth I am is a bigot. I am Michael Savage. I am a sexual libertarian. If you care to comment on any of these topics, the phone number is 855-400-7282. I shall return.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Hey, our Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I trust for wealth insurance, gold and silver. Call 800-BUICOIN. You know, I don't know if people want to talk about these topics. I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of Baltimore. I'm sick of the white liberals who caused it. I'm sick of the thugs in the street who burnt it. You know, I feel like I'm getting a migraine from all of this. I'm going to talk business. I have to, incite you to talk. But I'm not going to just incite you. I don't want to incite you. Many of you are angry over what Obama's done by laying the groundwork for those riots over the last 6 years. We know what he did. We know what Holder did. We know how they deballed the police. We know what's going on. Now, in the midst of all this, now we have to start talking about redefining marriage. Everything in our lives has to be torn to shreds by the radical left. It's how a revolution functions. Don't you get that? Play the Mel Allen piece for me now.
There's a drive hit to deep right field. That ball is going. It is gone.
A wee lad listening to baseball on a portable radio. Imagine me in a polo shirt. All right, it's enough already. With sneakers, walking around Queens, New York, with my ear glued to the World Series. I actually liked sports until I was 12, then I outgrew it. They say that people have a gambling phase, too, until they're 12, and they outgrow it. But I outgrew sports. I'd walk around, and this guy's voice was so compelling. It said summer to me. It said freedom to me. It said no school. It said everything's good. It said life